Welcome, everybody, back to the Friar Talk podcast and YouTube channel. Today, we're going live. We're going to be talking a little bit about football, doing a little bit different of something than we have in the past. Isaac, I'll let you start, man. Obviously, there's going to be more Chargers fans listening, but what do you think about, the Chargers' chances against the Chiefs today?
I think I like their chances against the Chiefs better today than I have any other time that since Patrick Mahomes has been the quarterback. I remember Week 1, his very first game he wasn't really a rookie. He had already played once in Week 17 against the Broncos, but this was his second game, and I thought, I think we should win. He shouldn't be that good. He shit on us. He destroyed us. He had like 4 or 5 touchdowns, and I remember the next week against Pittsburgh, he had 6 touchdowns. So it was just. That span of 2 games was the best. That was like the best 2 games that I've seen from a rookie quarterback, I guess you could say. But I think today, they're looking a little susceptible to defeat, I guess you could say. The Ravens last week took them 36-35, and we know the Ravens are a pretty depleted team right now. No, I'm a Charger fan, Nick. The Ravens are a pretty depleted team right now, and I don't know if Chris Jones and Frank Clark are going to play. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get to our quarterback, to Justin Herbert. And I'm looking forward to seeing the game, though. I don't know if we're going to have Joey Bosa, so it might even out. But hopefully we're able to.
Yeah, if you guys don't have Joey and then they don't have Chris Jones, well, that evens out, though. You know what I mean? Like, because I think Chris Jones he's probably one of the best interior defensive line guys in the league.
Easily. I think like the thing with them though is that Andy Reid is a really good coach. Like I feel like he's going to be able to scheme something up to try to get to Justin Herbert. I don't know about us. Like other than Bosa, it's like Uchenna Nwosu, Tillery's trash, Justin Jones sucks. Like they all suck except for Joey Bosa, and that's why I was so mad they didn't either draft a pass rusher or pick one up.
So, Michael, I got to ask you, man. You out here going all in on the Chiefs and the Packers. What is this? Also, Nick, you asked if we're both 49er fans. No, Isaac is a Charger fan, but Chase is also a Niners fan. So me and Chase are both Niners fans, which is kind of weird. Like, you'd think that we'd have more Charger fans than the Niners. I don't know why that is. Get Anthony Lynn back. That's just disrespectful, man.
God, stop it.
Michael's really going in on both of our teams right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Anthony Lynn was awful, dude.
As far as the Chargers game goes, though, I'm taking Chargers +7. I do not think that the Chiefs roster is. I think it's like one of the thinnest rosters they've had in a while. If they're missing Chris Jones, their defense is, even though like the Chargers offense isn't like super complete, because I think a lot of people like love the Chargers offense. I think they definitely have some holes. I still think that they should probably torch them. Like, I really do.
Yeah.
Okay, you're laughing now, but A-Rod's going to show you 5 touchdowns tonight. Dude, they have no tackles. They have both starting tackles out.
Elton Jenkins is out. He's the guard, right?
No, he's normally would be the right tackle, but then they've been moving him to left since Bakhtiari's out.
Right.
Yeah. Also, if any of you guys, +7 is not bad at all. I love gambling on NFL Sunday. Like I do all the time. Mm-hmm. Last weekend I had a good weekend. I already lost some money this week though on college football, so I'm gonna have to make up for it. But I love Chargers +7. Well, I don't love it. I like it. I love Niners -3. I think the Niners are gonna rout the Packers. I don't know where you're at, Isaac. Mm-hmm. I really think it's gonna be like. I think it's going to look closer to the NFC Championship game than it will like a really good game, because the Niners are healthy. The Packers are so depleted, like on every level of their team. Right. And I don't know if they're going to start Eric Stokes. I think that's a positive thing. But if you're rolling out Kevin King with all these holes on the offensive line, like, all right, man, good luck, because Kevin King I think he might be one of the worst corners in the league. Like he is so
easily.
Bad. He's so.
I think that because we know Brandon Ayuk. I don't know what's the deal with Brandon Ayuk, because he hasn't even he's got like 1 reception on the season, 2.
It was a nice catch, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if it's health. I don't know what the problem is, but I think today, assuming Jair Allen mostly, because I don't know if they do shadow coverage, but assuming Jair Alexander is mostly covering Debo Samuel, I'd assume, because Debo's been the
That's a
guy.
mismatch for Jair.
I think so too.
Like I think Jair's amazing, but like
Jair's
Debo's
fantastic.
big, dude.
Debo's big. He's a really good gadget player. Like everything works for him. And but if they're not able to get the ball to Debo, it's going to be a really good opportunity to get it to Brandon Ayuk. And I think this might be the game that Brandon Ayuk has a maybe 50, 60 yards kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to expect too much yet.
So like the first week he didn't play that much, and they said he kind of got taken out of the game script just because he was banged up. But then in the where was it in this last week's game against the Eagles, which I was at that game, he was getting open. Like they drew up, there was like a 3rd and 8 that they drew up, and he probably ran like a 15-yard comeback wide open. Jimmy looks his way. All right, check down the running back. And so I think it's more about that, honestly, at this point. Is it concerning? Yes. Okay, real quick, this one, and then we could go back and start talking about some other teams. Also, we'll talk about the Padres today too. We just wanted to, it's fun. We haven't really talked about football, and we're big football fans. And I feel like most sports fans are going to be football fans, especially in American sports. What about the 49ers secondary? So Emmanuel Mosley's playing today. Diamador Lenore, a name that not many people know, has been an absolute stud this year. So if Diamador Lenore keeps it up, like I think Devontae Adams is the best wideout in the league. I think he is the most nasty player. Also, side note, that move he put on the Lions DBs the other day, that was so disgusting. Oh my God.
Dude, it's a weekly thing.
Yeah, I just think when you look at like when Aaron Rodgers has lost, it's when he has to get the ball out quick. And the Niners pass rush is pretty healthy for the most part, and the offensive line is so banged up. Like he's gonna have to get the ball out within 2 seconds every time. And that's why I think it's a really bad matchup. I'm not trying to be biased. Like I am going to be biased. Like, of course, like that's going to happen with all of us. But I just don't think it's a good matchup for them. I'm honestly I was more concerned about the Eagles game than the Packers. Now, the Packers right now, because they're so banged up. So like later in the season, like it'll be a lot different. But when you don't have tackles and you're playing against Nick Bosa, and yes, D Ford isn't like quite the guy that he was a couple years back. D Ford still is like has one of the best first steps of any edge rushers in the league. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. I think Adams will still. I think he'll still have a solid game. I just think that it's gonna be hard. And the biggest thing for the Packers is gonna be if they can run the football. Because if they can run the football, that's like all right. Then they can actually play ahead a little bit. If they can't run the football, they're gonna get into like almost like panic mode, which I that's what I think at least.
I think Trey Sermon might have a pretty big game today, assuming he doesn't get hurt on the first play again. Poor guy. I saw Michael's comment, no Padres, please. It's it's a tough time. It's really like I'm finding it really hard to want to talk about the Padres right now, but we're gonna do it. They were mathematically eliminated from playoff contention, so at least all of our hopes and dreams and everything can go away. We're still gonna watch. I'm still gonna watch sometimes. I'm not gonna pay as close attention, but we gotta give you guys something to talk about. So I'll definitely be watching still and pulling for Fernando to go on a tear these last couple games. And I think someone that because he wasn't even in the conversation when we brought out that MVP video. I think someone that has solidified himself in that conversation and has definitely, I think, should win it, Juan Soto. You look at Juan Soto's numbers, F WAR, B WAR, all of them, average, and he's like, I think has like a 600 on base percentage this month, something like that, something crazy, something absurd. He has passed Fernando and Bryce in almost each and every category. He's on a tear right now. I'm telling you, like, he is the best hitter in baseball.
Dude, he's putting up like Barry Bonds on base percentage numbers right now.
Yes.
And that's with no protection in the lineup either.
Yeah. He's the best hitter in baseball. Like, I feel like that hasn't gone unnoticed because of the season Fernando has had. And, Bryce Harper and all these guys have Shohei. But if you're looking at a guy who's the most complete player in baseball. Although he plays right. It's not the hardest position, but the most complete hitter. He doesn't strike out a lot. He gets on base a lot. He gets his pitch, has an amazing approach, and he's able to hit bombs. And I think he goes, like, a couple years ago, everyone was already regarding him as the best hitter. I think last year, actually, everyone was already regarding him as the best hitter, but injuries have and now he's kind of just showing, like, I'm here to stay. I'm still the best hitter in baseball. Of course, we love Fernando. Fernando's probably the best, if not top 5 all-around player in baseball. I'm judging off those past matches between the Niners and the Packers, where we've seen, Raheem Mostert ran for over 200 yards in that NFC Championship game, and I believe he had a really good game the game before that year too. The Niners, or not the Niners, the Packers are a little depleted right now. Like Matt said, I think the pass rush will be able to get to Rodgers, give him hard times, and honestly, I don't think the Packers are playing their best football right now. Of course, they smacked on the Lions last week, but it took them a little bit to get there. I think everyone expects them to smack on the Lions. They did what they had to do, and this week's gonna be a little tougher for the Packers. And I really like the Niners at -3. It's a gamble just because we know how good the Packers are, how good Aaron Rodgers can be at any given time, but I like the Niners too.
Yeah. Also, anyone? I mean, we don't have a huge stream today. We kind of put this up really late. Usually, put them up like a few hours before. I'm sure people will come back and watch. That's what usually happens with these. But any questions you guys have, NFL, Padres related,
fantasy,
literally, yeah, fantasy, anything. We're gonna try to start doing these every Sunday just because it's fun. Like, we don't really especially for if we post a Padres video on Sunday, it does the worst ratings of any of the videos every single time, right? Since football started. So we just wanted to do live streams like this, especially with the off season. It's a good day to go live. So we're gonna try to do this throughout the season and just do 9 to 9:30, probably not right before the games, but 9 to 9:30, 9 to 9:45, and then just kind of ask whatever you guys want to talk about. Another thing, like you said, Isaac, the Padres were just eliminated. We're gonna start doing our all right, here's how we fix the Padres stuff. Also, Ryan, who, if you guys haven't, I mean, he came on the show a lot during the deadline. He's gonna come in. He has some moves he wants to talk about. Some of them are moves that we are probably going to do, but our plan is to basically go in, do all right, this is our first video. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. One thing that I'm going to heavily advocate for is going out and signing Nelson Cruz. So one day we're going to do a video. All right, Padres need to go out there, free agency, sign Nelson Cruz. So we're going to go through, all right, they need to do these changes in the coaching staff, these changes in the front office, whatever that is. We're going to go through those. Then we're going to go through, okay, they need to re-sign this guy. They need to move this guy. They need to do whatever. These are some mock trades for this kind of deal. So if we go out and say, okay, this is just an example. Padres need to go trade Eric Hosmer. This is what it would look like. And so we're going to do our not full rebuild, but full fixing the Padres. And it'll probably be a few weeks long of a series. And we'll probably put it in a playlist too, because that stuff's going to be relevant for at least most of the offseason. And then we'll go through and do that. So it'll be really fun, I think. Also, if you guys have moves too, for other videos when we start doing this, and you guys are talking about all right, I want them to go do this, we'll talk about that too, even if it's not in our plan. We'll go through the offseason, we'll talk about those moves. So we're going to talk about a ton of moves. We're not giving up on talking about baseball. I promise you guys that.
Nah. I think okay, you gave one of your moves. I'm going to give one of mine. I'll give two. One's a quick one. Kendall Graveman. I'd like to see them add him to the bullpen. I think that'd be a good piece to add to the bullpen, considering, things started to falter for the bullpen down the line. We saw, yesterday we were up 7-3, and I'm not going to discredit Chris Matt. He's been awesome all year. It's just this time didn't go his way. We're up 7-3, and then 15 minutes later that lead was gone. So I definitely think something needs to be done about the bullpen. I think Kendall Graveman will be a good piece to add to the bullpen. One other move. Gonna be kind of weird. I don't even know if he'll for sure be a free agent. I like Cody Bellinger. I want him to be a Padre. I know it's weird. He's batting 150, and he sucks right now. But I don't think that talent goes away. I think if you're able to get a guy who can play both the corner outfield spots and first base, I think that would be beneficial, considering Tommy Pham will probably be gone. We don't know what's going to happen with Will Myers, and Eric Hosmer will probably be gone. At least one of them will at least one of Will Myers or Eric Hosmer will be gone. So that's why I kind of like the idea of getting a guy who can play all three and has played it at an MVP level before. Does he still have that MVP talent? We don't know. And he is arbitration eligible. I have a hard time trying to think about the MLB contracts because they're super confusing. I'm trying to grasp what arbitration means, but
well, just like control, right? Like
yeah,
I would think that he'll stay with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm having a hard time thinking that just because they're already in the luxury tax and they still got to pay Max Scherzer.
I think he's gonna stay. You do, right?
Yeah, he's gonna stay. I think that they'll sign him back. I want to say they'll sign. I want to say they'll sign Seager back. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they got Turner to play shortstop next year, and Lux is going to play second, or maybe they just got Turner to stay at second and keep Seager at short. We don't know, but if Bellinger is available, I think that's a move you got to look at. Go look at the Big Papi interview with Fernando. Fernando said he was a top 5, top 10 baseball player. I still think he's got it as well. I just
like a
think
month ago too, right?
Yeah, it was very recently, and I think that's a move that could be made. Other than that, I'd like to see smaller moves made. You brought up Nelson Cruz. I'd love Nelson Cruz as DH. We're desperately missing some power in the lineup right now, and I think that's
the best guy, right?
Yeah, that's an amazing guy, bro. If you need power, like call up Nelson Cruz. That's always been the case.
Nelson, just come in. You can kind of have early retirement, DH for the Padres, live in San Diego.
Exactly, right.
He's got the Ranger connections.
Mm-hmm. That's a perfect move right there, man. And I think other than that, some smaller moves, you could get CJ Cron to play first. You could, there's a couple of moves out there that need to be made. I think power is going to be something that the Padres need to go after, as well as guys that can get on base.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is going to be, because I think who asked it? Where was it? The Padres been big in free agency, or is it draft and develop? What is the process there? I mean, if they would have drafted and developed, it would be in a very, very good spot right now. So I'm always for that because, like, long term, that is a lot better. See, I think CJ Abrams is going to be an absolute monster. I think CJ Abrams is going to be a star. That's like the only guy in the minors I think I'm like super confident in. I've also been confident in him in a while. But I don't know. We'll see like what their plan is because I think they have to improve. They have to add hitting coaches. That's an obvious one. Why do they have one hitting coach and every other team has 4 to 10? I have literally no idea. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. But we're gonna probably look into that stuff a lot more too. Any questions though from you guys? Any questions about football? I saw someone was asking how he became a Niners fan. I responded to that. Basically, my dad was a Niners fan. Isaac, what about you for the Chargers? Is your family just grow up Chargers fans? I mean, you were born in San Diego too, so.
Yeah, I was born over there. Obviously, LT was a big deal back then. Basically, my mom, it was funny because my mom's not a Patriots fan by any means, but there was a day where we were in the house and my mom was like, and my mom and dad were like, do you guys want to be Charger fans? Do you guys want to be Patriot fans? Because my mom loved Tom Brady. All the girls thought Tom Brady was so hot back then. And so my mom loves Tom Brady. And so Chargers just sounded cool to me. And so I chose the Chargers. And obviously it all coincided from San Diego and everything. My dad's not a Charger fan anymore, but at the time he was a big Charger fan. And so pretty much just grew up watching LT, Vincent Jackson, Phillip, Gates, all those kind of guys, Cromartie.
Oh, Cromartie was sweet.
Dude, Cromartie was
always
nasty.
Remember the one-handed interception against Peyton Manning on that football. That was so clean. Also, beautiful. Kyle, you asked the question, what do I think of the Trey Lance pick? This will tell you right here. Trey Lance has been my guy. Isaac knows this too. I had Trey Lance as my quarterback too. I think he's better than Wilson. I think he's better than – and I also love Fields. So when they picked him, like probably the most excited I've ever been for a draft prospect. And then when the Niners traded up, I was like, oh my God, like they're doing it. They're literally going to do it. And so I'm like so excited. I think he's going to be amazing. I think he is the prototypical quarterback for Kyle Shanahan's offense. So I am so hyped for it. Another question: what do you guys think of Rams Bucks tonight? That is the game. That is the one of the best games of the year. I think that is like. Wait a second. Mac Jones and okay, I have no problem with you saying Fields. I'm a big Fields guy. I actually thought they were going to take Fields. Like I just figured that was going to be the guy. I was not upset when they took Lance. Trust me, I was hyped. Also, the fact that Fields slid so far is always going to be mind-boggling to me. But no, dude, Lance is going to be so clean when he starts playing. You also guys have to remember he's like I think he's younger than both of us, Isaac. I think
no way.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he's like low 21.
Oh my god.
Yes, and he graduated high school 3 years. Graduated college 3 years. Man is a goon.
That is insane.
Yeah, so I'm super pumped about that. Let's see. We had a few up here. Yeah, so Rams, Bucks, and then we'll start busting through these other ones. I'm super pumped for that. The way I watch football is I put one screen on for Red Zone, and then I put one screen on for like whatever big game I'm watching. So this morning I'm watching the Saints game because my roommate's a Saints fan, and then I'm watching the Rams Bucks on the other TV. So I'm super pumped for that game, and I'm pulling for the Bucks because I mean I'm a Niners fan, so I'm hoping that I'm also pulling. Weird one today. I think the Jags might cover the spread. The Cardinals they're so bad on the road. They're playing the Cardinals. It's like +10.
I hope they can cover that. I mean that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's really low.
Yeah.
What do you think about Rams Bucks?
What's the spread on that?
I think it's like -1 for the Bucks. I know it's in LA.
Okay, I think I want to go with the Bucks. That one's really tough. I want to go with the Bucks in that one though. The Rams have played. A good game. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I think, the Rams have played. Who'd they play? Last week they played the Colts. Who'd they play week 1?
Who?
The Rams.
Someone that wasn't good.
Yeah, I think it was someone that wasn't good.
I don't know why I'm blanking on this.
I don't know. Let me check real quick. But, I mean, because I don't think they got tested in week 1 either. So this is going to be, I want to say their first test. I know the Colts are – I'm disguised as Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Chicago.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
It was Sunday Night Football. It was like the worst game they could have put on Sunday Night Football. I was like, oh, let's go watch Andy Dalton. Sweet, thank you NFL. Exactly. That was awesome.
Yeah, so they haven't been tested exactly yet on offense or defense because you look at Chicago, they were starting Andy Dalton, so their defense wasn't tested there, and then you look at the Colts. Carson Wentz. I'm not saying Carson Wentz. Obviously, he was god awful last year. I don't think he's actually that bad, but he's not Tom. No one is Tom Brady. So this is gonna be their first test. AB is out. Antonio Brown will not be playing this one. He's on the COVID list, so it's just gonna be Godwin and Evans.
I think that's huge.
Yeah, that is huge because if you look at, I think what's his name, Tyler Johnson.
Oh, dude, you know about my story with Tyler Johnson?
Huh.
So my roommate used to play Pop Warner with Tyler Johnson in Minnesota. So when Tyler Johnson had to catch in the playoffs, we were like freaking out. Like we get so hyped for Tyler Johnson. So I love
that. I think he's a good player too.
Dude, he is.
Yeah, no, he's good. Like he's legit. And I think, yes, AB being out does hurt the Bucks, but also Tyler Johnson's not a bad receiver to have. And the reason I say I brought up AB and we think that's big is because, I mean, let's be real, Uncle Lenny and Ronald Jones are not very good running backs, and I don't think they're going to be able to find much room against that Rams front seven. So I do think that's going to be a good game for sure. I'm pretty excited to see that one. Obviously, what time's that one at 1? It's in LA, right? So that was I'll probably be watching that one for sure, but I got to see if the Chargers are going to bring me pain or pleasure.
Dude, that's a fun game. That's a really exciting game. Okay, I gotta go back to this. Borna, his motion is way different. Like, because I don't know. Okay, I don't know how much you know about this, Isaac. Do you know Jordan Palmer?
No, who's that?
Okay, Jordan Palmer is, in my opinion, is the best quarterback coach in the world. Okay. Guys he's trained with. Lance, this year he was working with Sam Darnold a lot. Like he works with Josh Allen. Josh Allen is like his dude, like the guy that he was like, yeah, I'll go fix Josh Allen, no problem. Because Josh Allen had the same deal where his like motion was all fucking weird, like it was just like super elongated. Lance's motion is way tighter. Like he sped it up a little bit, but the biggest thing is like he used to go really out wide, and he like condensed it a lot. So I think it's going to be a lot better. I think there's massive improvement there. It's going to help his accuracy a lot. That's also why he's a project. Like at the end of the day, like I do think we see him this year. I actually think we're going to see him a little bit tonight. That I've thought that this is the game where they actually like, and I don't think they're going to do it all the time. But remember that 2-quarterback system? Did you watch the Niners in preseason when they're running the 2-quarterback system?
No, not that much.
Oh, dude, it was really interesting because like you never see that, right?
Yeah.
And so when they were doing that, it worked. It was against the Raiders, and it's preseason, doesn't mean all that much, but it looked really clean. I think they're gonna run that for a couple drives tonight. That's just my guess. That's kind of complete speculation, but I do think we're gonna see him a little bit tonight. So his motion's a lot better. I think we're gonna see continuous improvement there. But I do agree with you. Like when you have guys with like the super elongated motions, if they don't change those, they struggle a lot. So I do think it's going to change a little bit. Let's see what else we got. What do you think when do you think Lance will start? Let's see. Yeah, I'm on that Lance bandwagon. Dude, I'm telling you, Lance was my quarterback 2. Well, 2A. Mm-hmm. Fields was my 2B. But I'm pumped.
Right.
I love this. Another one. When do you think Lance will start? My guess is around week 8. I was talking about this the other day with some of my friends. I think when Jimmy, because Jimmy does not throw the ball outside the numbers, is like the most aggravating thing watching that. Dude, last week, like I'm at the game. Last week, he's throwing. It's like, all right, 15-yard out, overthrow.
Yeah,
overthrow. And I was just like, dude, you literally can't complete a ball outside the number. Like it's so frustrating. And it's not like Jimmy's bad, but he's just limited. Eventually, when you do that and you play against a good defense where you can't carve up the middle, you're going to start forcing the ball outside. And if that happens, like last year against the Dolphins, and he was hurt, like so you got to account for that. If he has a game like that, I think the next week Lance will start. Because if Jimmy has an off day, it will look so bad. Like it will look so bad. So I think whenever that happens, and I think it is inevitable that it will happen, I think Lance will start the next week. Because they're going to be like, all right, what's the point? What's the point if Jimmy's going to go out there and completely blow a game? That's just my thought on it, though. We'll see. I also don't I know a lot of people really hate Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's still pretty solid.
I think he's a solid quarterback. I don't think he's the worst. I mean, you could do a lot worse when it comes to game managers. And that's really what I consider Jimmy G. Because you're like you said, he doesn't throw outside the hat or the outside. Fuck, I forgot what I was trying to say. But I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's okay. Obviously, he's inaccurate at times, but I think Trey Lance. You hype up Trey Lance to me a lot, and I think he's a good quarterback too, for sure. I think with the rushing ability that he's got, I think he will end up fixing that throwing motion. And he's with the mastermind of the offensive mastermind, Kyle Shanahan. So I think that's all going to work out for him really well. I think they're going to build a lot of pieces around him. And, I think as a rookie with Kyle Shanahan's always been pretty good with the run game, if I remember correctly. So I think that's going to alleviate some pressure off of him. There was a comment here that I wanted to talk about.
I got a quick question for you too. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Chargers, because we've talked a lot about the Niners. I know I'm guessing most people here are Chargers fans. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Chargers make the playoffs this year?
Okay, wait. Before I answer that, I'll ask you this for you to answer the next time, and all the people in the comments. I don't think Dalvin Cook is going to play tonight. I picked up Alexander Mattison. Do I start Alexander Mattison, or should I stick with? Because I can start either Alexander Mattison and bench Jamar Chase, or I can start Alexander Mattison, move Jamar Chase up to my wide receiver 2. And as hard as it is to do, sit Terry McLaurin, because Terry McLaurin is going to be facing Tre'Davious White. So I don't know how that's gonna work out for him. So it's either going to be like I want to start Madison, but I'm having a hard time sitting Jamar and Terry McLaurin, seeing how they do. But answering that question, I think if they're going to make the playoffs, it'll be as a 7th seed. And I do have some confidence that they will make the playoffs just because, right now they're not showing their full potential that they can just because none of our stars, Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Derwin James, neither of them played in the preseason. I think they're still trying to shake off some rust, and Derwin James still looks fantastic. So they're still trying to shake off some rust, and I think that'll pick up here soon. I think Justin Herbert's due for a huge offensive day. He's already had 300 or 400 yards taken away from him just from penalties. So that's a lot of yards being taken from you just from penalties. And I think he's going to start showing his full potential here soon. Could start as soon as today. And I think we could make the playoffs as a 7th seed. I don't expect us to win the division, of course, but I think he will be. I think we'll be in the playoffs, hopefully.
So I'm looking at it right now because I have the standings up. The teams I think that could make a run for the wild card spots. Patriots, they definitely could.
Always.
The Raiders, the hell? I don't know about that, but they look a lot better than I would have thought. Steelers, Ravens, Browns. The Steelers are battling a lot of injuries. They're hard to tell. I thought they were a little bit underrated heading into this year. I thought the Broncos were really underrated heading into this year, but they lost Bradley Chubb. I don't know how long he's out. He is a very, very good player, and that is a big deal for them to lose him. But they should 100% be in the mix. They should be a team that their fate is decided in the last 2 weeks of the season if they make it or they don't. And I think that I think they could. I definitely think they could. Because there's just a lot of you look at the Steelers, all right, they're banged up. You look at the Patriots, they don't have Stephon Gilmore right now. They're banged up too. There's so many teams where it's all right, all these teams in the wild card hunt are kind of hurt, and there's just a bunch. The Colts have looked awful. Yes. I would have guessed that they would have made the playoffs, but they have not looked good. It's only 2 weeks into the year, but they'll be in the mix. I think they could definitely make the 7th seed. Going into the year though, I thought the Broncos were going to be the 7th seed. Because, dude, the Broncos' defense is so
nasty, dude.
And no one realized that. Everyone was just they have Teddy Bridgewater. Nope, they're not going to contend. Dude, they had Drew Lock last year. Drew Lock is not a good player. Drew Lock, you might have been the worst quarterback last year in the whole league.
And they were 7-9. They're still 7-9. And you brought up that defense. Their first-round pick, Patrick Surtain, he is so good, but he started off on the bench. That's how good the Broncos defense is. He's going to be starting this week, I think. But Bryce Callahan, they picked up Kyle Fuller. They already have Justin Simmons. Bradley Chubb, you brought up Bradley Chubb. I think he's going to be out till week 9 or week 10 is what they said. But Von Miller's still good. They still got a lot of good pieces on that defense. So it's just going to depend on how good Teddy Bridgewater is. And I do think Teddy Bridgewater will need help from the run game. So that's going to also depend on Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams. So,
dude, another thing, their offensive line last year took a huge step. They were one of the the highest rated offensive lines last year. And that kind of came out of nowhere. I was oh, look, they're actually looking pretty good. Also, Vic Fangio, any Niners fans know who Vic Fangio is. One of the best defensive minds in the sport for years. I don't know. I like the Broncos a lot. I really like their roster, but they're getting a little banged up. But that secondary is so clean.
Nasty.
They got Bryce Callahan as a fourth corner if Surtain's in. That's disgusting.
He's great.
Did he make the Pro Bowl last year?
I don't know, but he's always considered one of the best, if not the best, slot corners in football.
Yeah. Michael Bowles is the guy that took the big step. Dude, he was first 2 years.
He was awful, dude.
He led the league in penalties both his years. And then, oh my gosh, who did they sign? Was it okay? I don't want to say the wrong name because I feel bad. I think it's Jawan James is the guy that they signed. And for 3 years and $40 million, he did not play a single snap.
None.
Oh, that is brutal. And then they cut him, I think, this year. But they're still have a pretty solid crew up there. All right, what else we got, guys? I hope we can trade for one of the Broncos DBs as Niners fans. Yes, one thing I am absolutely terrified as a Niners fan is the 49ers play the Titans and Derrick Henry on Thursday Night Football in December. Isaac, do you hear what I just said? Thursday Night Football against Derrick Henry in December, and they could be rolling out Josh Norman at cornerback too. That's not good.
Who's this, the Niners?
Yes, in December. So I like him to make a move for his DB.
Derrick Henry in December is not fun. Derrick Henry isn't fun anyway.
On a short week, dude, that's the most scared I am for the entire season. I feel like guys are gonna start dropping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think? You think I should start Madison?
I like Scary Terry. Who are the? Let me see. I got it up right here.
So
it disappeared.
T. Higgins is out, so that's why I'm kind of like, okay, I can't really sit Jamar. But the thing is,
who would it be besides Jamar? It'd be Scary Terry.
Yeah, it'd be scary. It's between Scary Terry, Jamar, and Madison. One's got to sit.
Okay, you got to start. You got to start Jamar. He's playing the Steelers too. The Steelers are banged up. They don't have TJ Watt. Like they're gonna have a lot more time.
Yeah.
Burrow will if he doesn't throw 3 back-to-back interceptions. God. Madison is he? So is Dalvin out?
Dalvin is not expected to play.
Dude, I was gonna bet Vikings to win it if Dalvin was playing. Oh man.
He's unlikely to play.
Dude, the problem is like you could just not start Scary Terry and then you're gonna be like, damn it.
Exactly, because Scary Terry, dude, he gets so many targets. Heineke like feeds that.
That's his guy.
He had like 14 targets last week.
Then I'd probably rock with him because
Terry and Jamar.
Yeah, because as one of my favorite Niners media guys says, the Seahawks defense is Swiss cheese, so they're gonna be throwing deep shot after deep shot against them.
I think so too.
I think it's be more like I think that game's gonna be a shootout. Right. So maybe don't go Madison, especially because if Dalvin plays. Also, the problem with Dalvin is like he could play and then that dude gets hurt every single week.
He's down like every single time he gets tackled.
I don't know what it is, dude. Because he's a great player, but he just gets banged up so much. I would probably rock with Terry. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think Terry or Madison? Yeah. Given that Dalvin doesn't play.
I need you guys' opinion because this is kind of tough. Like, as much as I like, because I remember a couple, and this isn't the same defense, but I would go Jamar and Terry. I think I'm gonna stick with Jamar and Terry. Just they've both been having really good starts. Like Terry week 1 against the Chargers didn't really have a good start, but last week obviously put up 23 points. Isaac Terry Madison last week put up 23 points and got 14 targets. So it's really hard to sit Terry. Now the thing that I'm most scared of. And this is why I brought up Terry, because any other week I would not, unless he's facing like Jalen Ramsey, Jerry Alexander, any other week I would not be talking about, or Marlon Humphrey is very underrated. Any other week I wouldn't be talking about sitting Scary Terry, but he's facing Tre'Davious White this week. And I know, if I remember correctly, Tre'Davious White is mostly a shadow corner. He follows the one. If I remember correctly, I'm not entirely sure. But that's why I'm kind of having a tough time starting Terry. I think he's matchup proof. I think Terry can beat almost any corner in football. But at the same time, Seattle's run defense is kind of garbage, or their defense in general. But the thing with Madison is that the Seahawks could pull out to an early lead, and Madison isn't Dalvin Cook, so they're not still going to force feed Madison. They're gonna go after, Justin Jefferson, give the ball to Thielen. To their better guys.
Does Terry go in? I mean, I watch the football team a good amount, but I think Terry's pretty typically outside. Like they don't kick him inside that much.
Sometimes he rocks in the slot. Sometimes.
But Trey White shadows guys, right? Like I feel like he's always shadows guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
So he'll probably shadow him. He also had a down year last year, so. I would still rock with Terry. I mean, he's a great player.
Yeah, and
he's gone against good competition throughout his career, even when he was at Ohio State.
Yeah, week one, Deontay Johnson put up a good stat line against them. Obviously, last week they played the Dolphins and Jacoby Brissett, so there's kind of a small sample size against Tre'Davious White. I wouldn't say he's an amazing corner, but small sample size right now, so. I think I'm going to rock with Terry and Jamar still. Yeah. But I'm going to put Madison in some FanDuels.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, because he's only 5,200.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about FanDuel. One other thing, Michael, just so you know, I'm taking Niners alt line -7.5. That's how confident I am today.
That's good. I'd be confident too.
Yeah. Let's see. Kyle, Hugo, Jamar, and Terry. Yeah, I definitely feel like that's the move.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yeah,
the problem is like just receivers are a little bit up and down. Like they don't have the floor. I feel like that some running backs do.
Mm-hmm.
But Terry's definitely gonna.
Melt.
Terry's definitely going to be getting a lot of targets. Like they force feed him the rock. So
Yeah,
I think feel like that's what makes the difference. All right, what else we got? We're probably gonna take off here in a couple minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so weird. It's the game started at 1:00 here.
I know that.
Strange that is like.
I know, bro. I was gonna say like that's so weird. Now you went from 10 to 1. Like now you're actually awake when the games are gonna start. Like for me, I'm still trying to wake up.
No, but I liked it like that. I liked waking up at 9:30, taking a shower, getting my coffee, and then starting the games immediately. Now I like have to wake up, do all my stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's 1:00. The games end at like 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah, dude. How's the fingers? They're actually doing a lot better. At first, they were like black because of all the blood that was in my fingertips. But now, like, let me see if I can. They look normal now, right?
They don't look that bad.
Yeah,
I remember what they looked like before. They were jacked up.
They were so bad, dude, and it hurt really bad, honestly. But now they're a lot better now.
What are your Super Bowl predictions? I'm not sure what you mean. My games are at 6 p.m. 9. So you got to pull an all-nighter to watch football. Oh my!
You're a stud. You're a stud, Michael. You're on a different level, man.
All right, what are your Super Bowl predictions? Then we'll take off out of here. 2 weeks into the year. Way too early Super Bowl predictions. Let's do it.
Oh, sorry. Little brother's getting yelled at. I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
I would go Bucks too. I think the Bucks are by far the deepest roster.
I think so too. I don't want to sleep on the Rams. The Rams are still a good team, but they're not what the Bucks are like. And even the Niners, you can put them in there if Trey Lance definitely like becomes what we think he will. I think they could definitely make at least the NFC Championship, if not the divisional.
The biggest thing for them is health. Because if they have like for the Niners, this will be the last thing I say on the Niners. If they have a healthy Trent Williams, a healthy George Kittle, a healthy Kyle Juszczyk, and a healthy Mike McGlinchey, like their outside run game is so ridiculous. Like for the scheme that they're trying to run, like that is the best. That is the best guys for that running scheme. Like, 100%. And even though Mike McGlinchey can be a nightmare in pass blocking, he's really good in the run game. So that's like literally like all it is for me. But they're still like I still think I would give the Bucks and the Rams an edge on them. But definitely. AFC's tough.
AFC's really tough because you want to go with the Chiefs, but the Chiefs look a little more depleted than normal.
Dude, their roster, I don't think it's as good.
Their defense is not good. Like their defense, like other than Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones, I don't think Frank Clark is that good. I think Snead is. I think he's good.
He's like going back, like he's coming back to life a little bit, right? Like, yeah,
he's looking better, and I'm kind of scared for Keenan Allen today against him. But Keenan Allen just cooks. So
the AFC is kind of like. Yes, like if you're gonna go with the safe bet, it's gonna be the Chiefs, 100%. But like, dude, if the Ravens were healthy, I would be really high on the Ravens.
Oh, dude,
they are
me too.
So beat up, like not just the running backs, like all across the board. The Chiefs are the safe bet. I would probably go. Okay, I'll go with my preseason bet. I bet the Bills. My preseason bet was Bills.
I like the Bills. I like the Bills too.
I think Josh Allen has taken. He took such a big step last year.
100%.
Do you know that his completion percentage went up 11%?
Yeah, dude, he was nasty last year. Like he looked the part of like because he went the year that Baker went 1, Darnold went 3. Like that's got to be tough to swallow. That's got to be tough to swallow because Josh Allen looks so freaking good. He looks like a top 5 quarterback in the league right now.
100%. All right. I think we're going to take off. If you guys are Niners fans and you want to listen to my Niners stuff, I do have a Niners show also. It's called Nuggets of Gold. It's a hilarious title. But it's not nearly as big as this show, but it's still fun. I do it. I didn't post anything today, but I'm posting like almost daily as well. It's pretty similar to like the layout of this show, but if you guys want to check that out, let's see. Chargers vs. Padres, Super Bowl, Machado in a slot touchdown.
I bet Fernando would run for like 300 yards on our run defense.
Yeah, but I think that'll do it for today. We're going to keep trying to do these every Sunday. Chase will be on. I think he's just at work today. Actually, maybe Chase won't be on. Chase might be at work every time we do it. This might just be us two. But yeah, so we'll just kind of preview some of these games. Literally just because in the offseason, we're not going to have like our typical pre-series live streams. So we're probably going to keep it on Sundays, like Sunday morning, and do that moving forward. But yeah, that's what we got today. Thank you guys for joining. This will be fun to keep doing. I like talking about football. I still enjoy talking about the Chargers, even though I don't follow them as much. But thank you all for listening. And we'll go live probably next Sunday as well. And we'll start that off-season series of like, all right, here's what the Padres need to do. Here's what we think they should do. So final thing, no, Michael, no, not go Pack Go. No.
God bless though, Michael. God bless.
All right. See you guys later.